Alright, I'm going to take a look at a content management system called OpenClass. Something I found, probably, I don't know, a year or so ago. Um, I teach here at the U, and obviously we use Moodle, and Moodle just drives me crazy. It's so clunky. It's getting better, but it's just very clunky, and I just hated working with it. So I kind of started searching out to find something better, and I don't know how I found OpenClass, but I found it. It's a Pearson product, and whatever you think about Pearson, but it's collaboration with them and Google. So it's completely free, which is great, and I think it's pretty powerful. So um, the things that I wrote down that I think are important for me, number one is to have an instructor presence. I think visually and being involved is important. Now, for a lot of the courses I teach, they're hybrid, so there's inherent social presence of the instructor. But I think this affords the opportunity to, like I embed Flipgrid, you can embed videos and all that type of stuff. So secondly, I think there needs to be some sort of social presence with the students. They have to be able to get to know each other, talk, see each other, and I think there's opportunities for that in this. There has to be collaboration. One of the things I like about this is that Google Apps are embedded into this. So if you look up into this corner here, these are your Google Apps. So these are notifications. This is my email. That's nice. I don't have any numbers there, so that means I don't have any unopened emails. My calendar, and then these are all my recent Google Docs. So it works pretty nicely with all of the Google platform. So in fact, since the U is a Google school, I got it turned on through the U. I can't exactly remember who I contacted, but I had to contact somebody and say I wanted to use this, and they had to turn it on for me. And once I did, I just log in through Google Apps, and I'm all set to go. So kind of nice. Another thing is I think it needs to be easy to use. It's another thing that I think is important. I think this is pretty easy to use on both ends. Moodle, I hate using it in the background, getting it set up, and it's clunky for me. So I think this is a little easier to set up on the back end, and I think it's easy for the students to use as well. So, and two other things. One, I think it needs to be aesthetically pleasing. Now, does this reach that? Not as much as I would like. In doing some more investigation into this, they said at the start of this year that they're going to that OpenClass would be able to be modified a little bit. As you can see, this nice orange band up here, you can't change that. And you can't change any of the looks of this. And it drives me a little crazy with that, but supposedly that's on their list of and it was supposed to be coming out at the start of this year. So I'm hoping soon that you'll be able to change the look of it and kind of fine-tune it to what you want. So, and then the last thing that's important for me is to have some sort of automation. I teach some of these in the summer, and a few of my classes are 3 weeks long, and as you can imagine, that's a daily grind. Every single day you have to be correcting and giving feedback and stuff. So I needed some sort of automation. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to keep up. So just some things, the students do some things online, and then we meet a couple days during the week. So I wanted some of the things they do online to be automated, and this does have some sort of automation. There's quizzes. Like I just popped onto one of my courses, just an example quiz here. You can preview it. So here you go. Which one is B? You can set up a time, and it automatically grades. So there you go. I got 1 out of 100%. So that automatically goes into the grade book. So that's some of the automation that's kind of nice, just to be able to make sure they're doing some of the content and make sure you can just kind of check for understanding that way. So, all right, so I'm going to take you through this. So it meets most of what I want. So obviously, there's a lot of things I'd like to have better, but it's been pretty good. So I'm going to show you just the dashboard here. When you first get into it, you can see I have 3 current classes there. One thing I like is that it has this kind of Twitter feed here, and I have my students be pretty active within this Twitter feed. So if they see something cool, they can just chuck it in here. Here's some digital stories that I had them upload there, so you can just find some cool links and things like that. And you can go certain by course. So if we want to go, I'll just go into my old courses, the one I used last spring. And I won't click onto the gradebook because it actually has grades in there. But you can break down by modules, so that's how I did it. Let's go to week 5 here. And this is pretty much, this is just kind of an open space that you can put it whatever you want in there, and you can embed videos and all that stuff. So here's an example of what we did week 5. A video, we got set up for a debate that we were going to have. So what I did is I had them watch this video, and then I just embedded Flipgrid, which we do in our class, and you can see some responses there. So that's how I set up the weekly modules. You can set it up however you want, but that's how I did it. The gradebook is very simple. That's one downside to a lot of the other content management systems is you got to keep track of your grades somewhere else. And again, doing this in the summer for 3 weeks, it would drive me crazy to have to use, like Excel to keep track of all that. So if we look at collaborations, so what I said, this works just with Google. These are just Google documents that I can embed right into this little category here. So my students had to write a mission and vision statement, and they were in groups, and so they could collaborate via Google Docs right through our system. So I like that part of it. You can choose to email through the system if you want. So similar to that, I don't do that. But you can if you want. What else? I'm actually going to just pop on to something I created, the Adventure Learning I did for one of Aaron's other classes, the Adventure Learning class. And I use this management system for it. As you can see, these are just things you can put into the Twitter feed on the home page so you can kind of keep up with cool things. The other thing, this is an RSS feed. I like this. So we just followed the Iditarod via Joe Runyon's blog there. So you can, again, this is kind of a blank canvas. I just embedded a photo and some text there, and just to try to make it look a little bit better. It's not great, but it does what I need it to do. So this is a course that's set up for K through 12 physical education type class. So what we did is I set up a 10-week course to follow along with the Iditarod. So here's an example of training for week 1. So we did a little intro video into what is the Iditarod, and I broke it down into cognitive, psychomotor, and affective lessons. So it gives them something to do every day. And then they each have their own dog sled team. So I just set it up where if you want to follow Dallas Seavey, you can click onto that. Here's his team, and then here's how you interact with him in an ideal world. You'd be able to have Dallas say something, and then everybody can talk about, hey, did everybody see that so-and-so did this, and whatever it may be. So these are all the teams that you can set up. This is where the social interaction, I think, is pretty powerful. So what else? I think that's a lot of it. I covered everything. So Instructor Presence, again, you can embed videos. You can do all that stuff. Social Presence, there's plenty of chances for that. There are collaborations built in via Flipgrid, via Google Docs. We also use Google Hangouts for my classes. I think it's fairly easy to use. It's pretty easy for me to set up, which is what I like. It's drag and drop. It's pretty intuitive. That part is pretty easy, which I think is different than Moodle. And then I also think it's easy for the students to use. Pretty simple. You can kind of get onto it, navigate everything. Pretty simple. I don't think it's as aesthetically pleasing as I would like it, but hopefully they're working on that. And then there is some automation with the quizzes and some other things you can do in here. So just a quick overview on OpenClass. So if you're interested, I think it's a pretty powerful CMS, and I also think that it being free is a great thing. So I look forward to seeing all the other ones. I'm always in search of a better system. So